Just 1 week removed from the upset of the season, the Temple Owls are back in week 2, looking to prove that their week 2 victory over Oklahoma wasn't just a flash in the pan, wasn't a fluke, it was the real deal. Defense showed up with 5 interceptions, 3 of them returned for touchdown, a ridiculous performance, and they are hoping to come back in week 2 with more of the same. The offensive side of the ball, Temple looking to be a little bit more consistent and a little bit better quarterback play. We will see what happens here in week 2. It starts now. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Temple Owls Dynasty. We are back here in week 2, have a game versus Navy, and we've got some recruiting to do. But before we get into all that, I want to just touch a little bit on the last game and kind of how it went overall. Not in terms of what happened in the game, I think we covered that enough, but I do want to talk about sort of how the game went in terms of simulation. And I think there were a couple things that I do want to tweak. And one of the things is something I am manually going to do, not really a setting per se, but I decided that I am not going to be using cornerbacks or secondary. I just want to user control the defensive line. And the reason for that is because I felt like of the 5 interceptions, a few of them I think would have probably just been deflections, so maybe even a catch for them on one of them. But I think because I usered some of the players and sort of jumped those routes, it caused more interceptions, and I could see that happening throughout the season. So I want to make sure we don't have 5 interceptions every game, and I think that's one thing that we can do to prevent that. Another thing we can do to prevent that would be sliders, and I think the first slider we're going to adjust is interceptions. I'm going to start with a 40 for interceptions. I think that's not too much where it's going to be crazy changing the game, but I think it's enough where that we'll see a few less, and I think this is a good start. Like I said, the first few games especially, we're going to be adjusting sliders and kind of adjusting settings to be as good as we can get, and probably throughout the series I'll keep adjusting these types of things when it seems fit. And the last thing from week 1 I want to touch on is the sound quality. I think I was playing the video back, and I think at times, especially when the crowd was really loud, it seemed like my voice was drowned out even just slightly. And I think going forward, I'm going to turn that down a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. Again, it's just kind of first couple episode tweaks to get things right, but look, going forward, hopefully that will be better. So if you had an issue with that in the last episode, hopefully it is fixed in this one. All right, so let's get into some recruiting. I did want to get into recruiting this time before the game just because it felt a little weird going into recruiting right after such a hyped up game. So we're going to do that ahead of the game this time. And I did spend a little bit of time adjusting our overall recruiting board. I moved some of the guys we're most interested in and we've scouted and put points into at the top. And then there were a couple guys that have locked us out. Mainly, number 1 is Neil Bunch, and we sort of decided that he wasn't that interesting of a prospect anyway, so I'm not too mad about it. That being said, we do have 3 spots to fill now. We only have 32 targets on the board currently, so we'll want to fill those up. But first off, I do want to look through our current board and see what we have. And looking through it, we have quite a few offensive linemen. We have 2 guards here at the top that are second in interest for us. We also have McBriar down here, and then 2 right tackles. These are all on the right side, aren't they? Probably could adjust them and have them play on the left. I'm sure it's not too much of a problem, but it is good to see that they're in first and second for the most part. We, of course, have Max Dugan. He is number 1 for us right now. We're going to be putting as many points as possible into him, and we will be scheduling a visit when we can. And other than that, we do have Devion Peel, our free safety recruit. We're looking to convert into a strong safety. Good start here. Easily will hit the top 5. Not worried about him. In addition, we also have those 3 cornerback prospects. Kona Gooch, one of them. He is right now looking at Rutgers a little bit more closely than Temple, but we should easily make it to the top 5, I would imagine. And then in addition to Gooch, we've got Kevin Allen, Matt DeGear. Kevin Allen's looking pretty safe for the top 5 or top 8 actually. And then we're already in the top 5 for him, but we do want to get something going there. So I think, well, the question is, do we need 3 cornerbacks? But that's assuming we're going to get Gooch and Allen. So I think we will go ahead. We've already offered a scholarship, so we might as well go ahead, and we can schedule a visit already too. That is an option. It does cost 40, so I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Oh, let's go ahead and do the family and friends for 25 to start. There's some of these other guys on the list we haven't scouted yet. Jeff McMullen, one of them. I do want to continue scouting and not just spend all our hours on recruiting. So let's go ahead and scout McMullen here. See what we've got. He's a right outside linebacker, pass coverage actually. I am much less interested after seeing that. He did go to Mechanicsville, Virginia, so if I need my car fixed, I might bring him on. But 57 man, 69 zone for a pass coverage tendency guy. I'm gonna drop him down here right now. Not interested anymore. Jermaine Clay is one we already looked at, but I am somewhat interested in him. Pretty solid, nothing amazing. And we can go ahead and scout Edwin Carden here as well. He's another pass coverage guy. And 69 zone coverage, 60 man coverage. It's okay. Again, it's a linebacker, so I don't expect it to be like crazy high, but I kind of expect it better than that. So, and I don't know if I'm really looking for a pass coverage guy anyway. I am planning to offer a scholarship here, and I'm going to Keontae Cash, the JUCO sophomore speed rusher out of Charlotte. He's got some good finesse moves, acceleration. Everything is pretty solid here, and I like it. So we're going to go ahead and offer the scholarship. And in addition, let's just DM, throw 10 points in there. And one of the positions I do not want to neglect is kicker. You have to have a good kicker, and Ty Lincoln is a 2-star, the only 2-star on our board, but I do want to get him scouted. That kick power is making me nervous. 66, yeah, that's not going to cut it. 78 kick accuracy is pretty good, but 66 kick power is pretty low. Let's go ahead and scout Josh John as well. 77 accuracy, we actually do not have the hours to finish him, and I just realized we also have Scioli here that we could scout. He's a power tendency. Yeah, I'm a little worried about his power as well, so I'd probably aim towards one of these guys. I did really like Nick Feeney, even though he's a bust technically. His 91 kick power is 76 accuracy. I mean, his 76 accuracy is as good as these accurate tendency guys, while also having like 25 more power. So yeah, I think Nick Feeney actually will go up our board a little bit. All right, so I mentioned we had to add 3 more guys, and we did. We actually added 3 running backs. 2 of them are listed as athletes, but their tendencies are running backs. So it's actually 2 power backs, 1 receiving back. I'm not that interested, honestly, in power backs, but there were very few guys that were 2 stars or over that were interested in our school. So I grabbed what we had. We'll look at them. If they're not what we're looking for, that's fine. But of course, we are out of hours, so we can't scout right now. So that's going to wrap it up for scouting. Let's take a look at the week 2 matchup with the Navy Midshipmen. They're 0-1. They lost their first game. And looking at their roster, you know, they're 75 overall. They have more guys over 80 than us, but I think consistency-wise, they kind of drop off pretty quickly. They do run the triple option, so we're going to have an interesting defensive look, much different than the last game. You know, they ran the ball pretty well on us. They just kind of had to abandon it at the end there just because of the score and the game outcome. But looking at Navy, they've got Brandon Chapman as their starting running back, 78 overall, but Alex Texa, 86 overall fullback. And when they're running triple option, he's going to get the ball quite a bit. So that'll be something to look out for. He's got 86 speed for a fullback. That's really solid. And yeah, he's going to be tough to bring down. Looks like Blake Horvath is their starting quarterback. Not much to worry about in terms of his overall, but his 84 speed while running the triple option is something that we are going to have to keep in mind. And on defense, they've got a couple guys here. They've got Rayon Lane III, a good free safety, 87 overall. They've also got Colin Ramos, a 85 overall linebacker. He's a pass coverage tendency linebacker as well. And then Deshaun Peel, an 81 overall cornerback. So it looks like their best guys are definitely in the secondary. We may want to take advantage of that and run the ball a little bit more. And I do want to look at our team as well, just because these players are all new. We've only been with them for a week or two, and I want to get to know them a little bit better. So Evan Simon, of course, started the last game. He did okay. I mean, he got the job done, but I think he could do better. So we're hoping to see more from him. He's got to know that Forrest Brock is right behind him on the depth chart. In addition, we saw Joquez Smith take basically every carry. Tyree Washington had a couple. He did have a touchdown, but we'll see if Joquez Smith continues to get the bulk of the carries or if Temple decides to filter in guys like Wilson and Cruz lower on the depth chart. And looking at receivers, I think there was 9 completed passes, so not a ton to look at there. But one thing we did not see on the box score is Dante Wright. He didn't have a single catch last game. It makes me think maybe we try him in the slot here next game. And just to get him the ball, it was tough to get him the ball on the outside. That, we talked about in the first episode, his 5'9" frame could be a problem with that. And you know what? We are going to make the switch. I want to see how this goes. Maybe it's a mistake, maybe it's not, but we're going to put Dante Wright in the slot for this game just to see what happens. And the tight end group, another one to talk about, they had 5 of the 9 catches. Not to confuse you too much, but we have Reese Clark and Peter Clark, and both big guys, both vertical threat, possession threat, so both receiving tight ends. And I think they did a good job last game. We'll see if they continue to get that same amount of looks. On defense, I do want to kind of test the line to do a little bit better. I don't know if they had too many sacks last game. I can't remember them getting too many. And Trey Thomas is one guy I think can do a little bit better of a job, maybe pressuring the quarterback. Obviously, our secondary did an amazing job last game. 5 interceptions, so we'll hope to continue that. But that is enough talk. Let's get into this game. Temple Owls taking on Navy. A little bit of a easier matchup on paper, but you got to play your best game every week. Let's see what happens in week 2. All right, here we go. We are here at Navy's Field. I'm not even sure the name of it, but we are ready to go. Temple kicking off. The crowd, I don't want to say too many bad things about it, but man, it's a little bit different than Oklahoma's crowd. Let's just put it at that. And we are underway here in Navy Stadium. Here's the junior Blake Horvath coming out. He's got 84 speed, 85 play action. Again, I believe they are going to be running the triple option, so it's something to keep in mind. And they are running the triple option, handoff to the fullback. Nothing there. Trey Thomas on the stop. Great start. Temple was in the nickel most of the game last game. I think they'll be probably running the 3-4 a lot more. And another handoff to the fullback. Actually, that's the halfback this time with 96 acceleration, 94 change of direction. Wow. Actually, I don't know if he was him that got the ball, but anyway, when he does get the ball, look out. So now it's 3rd and 9. Pressure. Quarterback launches it. And just an easy pick for Richardson there. That was really just a punt, to be quite honest. A desperation throw. He didn't have the arm to make it. A nice start for Temple. The secondary staying hot. So now here's Temple coming out with the most momentum they will ever have. Handoff coming out of the pistol. This is Smith. Tries to cut back and gets about 6. 2 in the backfield this time. Whoop. Don't know what happened there. Washington must have pressed the wrong button, but he gets no gain. So now it's 3rd down for Temple. 4 yards to go. Back to pass. And it's a tough catch, but it's made by Baines. 1st down. I'm sorry, that's Irvin. We do have Wright in the slot, you can see there. So it'll be interesting. High snap, but it's a draw. And Smith gets no gain. 2nd and 10 now. It's a fake and absolutely crushed. Where is the line? A sack for Navy, and now it is trouble. So 3rd and 15, an obvious passing down here. Let's see if Navy's defense can hold him or if Temple has a play here. Dropping back to pass. And he's sacked again. Great coverage downfield. The routes were starting to develop. But Navy with a good start on defense. So Navy takes over at their own 22. Seeing if they can do a little bit better this series as they hand off. Just a yard. The thing is, when you run the option, you sort of know what to expect. So they're going to have to maybe switch things up a little bit as Trey Thomas just sheds off his man, and they're not going anywhere. One thing we want to see is the Temple offense do a little bit better, but the Temple defense has been just outstanding. As it's broken up, beautiful play there on the outside. He ran the right route, just not timed well, and another punt for Navy. So after a rough first drive for Temple, they're back on the ball in great field position. Ball's handed off. Not much going on there, just a yard. And coming back out in that single back formation. This time Wilson is checked in. Ball's handed off, and he's got a lane. He's breaking free. Can he go the distance? No. Oh, he did break the tackle, but 34 yards for E.J. Wilson. And we do have an injury on the field. It's a Navy player down. What a run, though, by E.J. Wilson. Great blocking up front. Smith checks back in. 1st and 10 in the red zone. It's a screen. Floats it. Nice juke by Smith. Breaks the tackle, but he's just back to the line of scrimmage. That's all he could do. So Wright was moving in the slot. Still hasn't touched the ball yet this half. Or, I'm sorry, this quarter. I guess this half, too. Back to pass. Trouble. He's going to have to just launch it. Wow, that end was fast. That was Colin Ramos. We talked about him in the pregame. Got some speed there. So another 3rd and long for Temple. Just 10 seconds left in the quarter. Back of the end zone, and it's way out of the end zone. Looking for Baines on the outside there. Did not work, so they'll have to settle for a field goal. And the field goal is up and good. Almost doinked off the post there. But Temple will take the 3-0 lead. So Navy comes back out, trying to answer. Their offense has been basically lifeless so far. A little bit of motion, handed off the fullback. There he goes. Gets something going there. 7 yards. And that's the end of the first quarter. Temple 3, Navy 0. Navy 0 passing yards, 9 rushing yards. Not a lot of offense here so far. Just 1 3rd down conversion. And motion. They will hand it the fullback, and that's Thomas again, having a heck of a game. 3 tackles for loss already. So 3rd and 4. Temple coming out, trying to make yet another stop. It's a draw, and Gene takes him down in the backfield. Navy just can't get anything going here. I understand that's their game plan, but man, they may have to switch something up. So the punt is out. Here's Wright. He's got plenty of room again. Breaks 1 tackle all the way up to the 40 and more good field position. So Temple offense needs to come alive here. This is 2 straight games where, you're expecting more. Here's the outside handoff. Cuts back inside. It's a nice cut. Got caught up on his lineman, but he still got 7 yards. Still seeing Joquez Smith get the bulk of the carries here. He's got 4 carries so far. A little RPO. A nice cut. Breaks a tackle, and that's a 1st down for Smith. I think you keep feeding Smith if it's working. He's got shut down a couple times, but now starting to warm up. Does go back to him. He cuts back. A nice juke. 4 yards. And Temple comes out 2nd and 6. Oh boy, a massive sack. He just lost sight of Kendall Whiteside, who comes up, and now it is another 3rd and forever. Snap is back. And he's got him. Not the best throw, but it's caught. And that's Wright finally making the catch. His first catch of the season, that is. And they get enough for the first down. So Dante Wright checks out. And Washington checks in as well. Tackled immediately. That was great defense there by Navy. There was two options, the RPO. And both were shut down. And another sack. Wow. This Navy team is just bombarding us. So I guess the question is, Temple, is what do you do? How do you stop them? Another 3rd and forever. Caught by Clark. And barrels his way forward. He is short, however. It's 4th and 1. And this is going to take it down to the 2-minute warning where they will decide what to do. So it's 4th and 1, and Temple is coming out in the shotgun. Let's see if they snap the ball here. Oh, there's a flag, and it is a false start. The absolute last thing you need, and now you kind of have to kick. 45-yard chance here. And it is no good. So Temple goes from having a chance to make a 4th down conversion, maybe score, to getting nothing. Ouch. So here's Navy now with a 2-minute drill. They're going to pass, and it's broken up again. Great work on the outside there. And that was the senior Torrey Richardson with his 2nd breakup of the day. 2nd and 10 now for Navy. Man in motion. They will fake it. And what a play. Brought down behind the line. And now Navy facing their own 3rd and forever. And Navy's actually going to run the clock down and probably just run the ball here. Don't blame them. Temple maybe could have called a timeout. They opted to keep them. They'll call one now. Burn their first and have a chance to score here again in the 2nd quarter. So Navy 4th and 13 going to punt it away here. Punt is up. It's another nice punt, but Wright has had so much space to take these back. Good juke brings it all the way to the 36, and they've got a minute to go with 2 timeouts. That's a lot of time. So here comes Temple, 1st and 10. You've got some time, but can you have enough time in the pocket to make a throw? There's a throw. Baines got it. Well-timed play. They're up inside the opponent's 40. Well, not quite, but just about. Change in the play at the line is Evan Simon. Running a little play action. And it's back to Baines. He's got it, and he breaks a tackle and shoved out at the 13. Back-to-back plays, perfectly timed to Baines. Now we're in the red zone here. So Evan Simon, only 8 attempts so far, but he's doing a good job. They hand it off to Smith, and he's shut down. So just 30 seconds left. Another fake. And throws it away, but there is a flag down. And it's pass interference on the defense, obviously accepted, and now they're just 2 yards away. So 2 yards away, they're coming out in the pistol. There's the snap, handed off. Smith, touchdown, Temple. Roquan Smith buries it in the end zone, a 2-yard gain. That'll put Temple ahead by 2 scores. So kick is up, underway. Probably kneeling this here in the end zone, and he's taking it back. Brought down. So Temple gets the score right before half. They will be getting the ball back as well. Good play clock management there. Navy's going for it here. And they do complete the pass and call a timeout. Thought maybe they would just run it out, having to go the whole field, but they're trying something here. And another beautifully timed route. Get another 15, 20 yards. Another quick pass, but a nice tackle. Holds him to about a 4-yard gain. Navy's got 11 seconds. That's not a ton of time. You can maybe run one play. And they do go broken up. Beautiful swat there. I think they'll try to run one more play as well. You do have a timeout, so you might as well try to get close and kick. And the slant works. Oh my goodness. There was one man to beat. He did make the tackle, but Navy is certainly in field goal range now. So here they come out, taking about a 41-yard field goal. It is up and no good. Navy is stuck with a goose egg going into the half. So looking at the stats here, just 3 third-down conversions in the entire game for both teams. Temple's offense started to look a little bit better there. Navy's did as well. So we'll see if they start to explode in the second half or if it's more of the same. So here we are in the second half. Temple coming out. They are the favorites here today away at Navy. But not a lot of offense yet. We'll see if they can turn that around here in the second half. So here they come in the shotgun, one in the backfield. Hand it off, Smith. Breaks outside. What a spin move! Oh my goodness! Roquan Smith gains about 17 yards on the play there. Nice run to start. So a good start to the half here. Over the middle, broken up right. Had a chance, but the ball was a little bit behind him. Still struggling to get right the ball, honestly. And another run play, this time broken up. Beautiful play by the tackle there. So, guess what? Another 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun. He's got a man. Caught by Clark, he falls down, and it's a 1st down. Now they're running the screen. They've got a lot of blocking. And Smith, 9 yards just short of the 1st down. So, Joquez Smith having a good game here. Getting a lot of work. Play action this time. In the end zone, it's picked off. The safety was lurking. Bad throw, Evan Simon, and that is just too easy. I understand what he's thinking. He sees the receiver open there for a second, but you have to know when you're throwing that far and you have the end zone behind you, the safety's there. So Navy gets the ball after the turnover. That was Rayon Lane. We talked about him in pregame. And a good start, 6 yards. We'll see if the triple option, they continue to run it and if they can have some success, because they certainly did not in the first half. First down, the big fullback rumbles ahead, another 6 yards. Back to Texas, and there is Trey Thomas again. Big tackle, just 1 yard. So Navy comes back out in that wishbone formation again. And just pummeled to the ground. Alan Hay this time. You know, when they come on that wishbone, I don't want to be coaching Navy for them, but we're just pinching in our linemen and they're handing it off to fullback too much. And it's picked off. It's Johnson. He is taking it to the house. Can you say pick 6? Jamel Johnson, his 2nd in 2 games. I mean, our defense is just scoring more than our offense, like genuinely. It's ridiculous. Extra point is no good. But it's 16-0. So the kick is coming up here, and I cannot believe another pick 6. I didn't control him that time. That was all CPU. So now Navy has to come back out. Now they're down by, well, it's still a 2-possession game, but they're down 16. And that's actually a great run. I was just about to say you can't just hand it to your fullback to come up with these points, but I will say you do have time. There's still plenty of time. Oh my goodness, it's Trey Thomas again. He has tackled Alex Tzeka? Is that what it is? Quite a few times this game. Gets past him there and gets 6 yards. So another third down for Navy here. And guess what? We're pinching our line in. Tried trucking a little bit too early, but he gets the first down. This has been a pretty quick game with all the rushing that Navy's been doing. Pitch goes out to the running back, but a good play containing him. No gain. Second down, clock is running down though. And guess who? Trey Thomas again. Alex Tech's at 12 for 36, a pretty ugly game. 3rd and 9 now. Clock is ticking down and may end the quarter. And it will. Here we go. 4th quarter. Temple's got a 16-point lead. And they hold on. All right, here we go. 3rd and 9. Navy really needs a conversion here. Great fake. And nowhere to go. He's rushing. He gets about 3, but that's not nearly enough. And I gotta imagine they're going for it here on 4th and 6. Navy just really hasn't had an answer for when they need to pass the ball. 2 picks and just not the best. As they throw it to Tzeka and not enough. Turnover on downs. Torrey Richardson makes the tackle. He had the big pick as well. So Temple will get the ball and they will have to close out the game here yet again. Handoff, but not really had no real opening there, and Deshaun Peel makes the tackle. There's a lot of time left, so I don't think they're just going to run out the clock, but they are up 2 scores. And they'll run again. Up the middle, good juke. 3rd and 5, Cruz has checked into the game. And they are audibling. Navy's showing blitz here. And they do, but it gets thrown to Clark, and he's got so much space and brought down, but a big first down. So 1st and 10, clock is still ticking. Evan Simon just 9 completions again today. When you keep scoring on defense, you don't really have to throw the ball that much. And wide open is right. Not a good throw, but caught and inside the red zone. Hey, that is Dante Wright getting some action here. Roquan Swift back in the game. And it's a read option. He stays on his feet. Touchdown! Roquan Smith, 2nd of the game. That was a hard-fought run, and that's the reason why Roquan Smith is starting and getting the bulk of the carries. Beautiful play there. So they'll kneel it down, and now game is a little bit out of hand. You need 3 scores in 4 minutes. Oh, Thomas missed it, and now he's got our lane. Slides down. Good play there. Trey Thomas had him. They're going to run the hurry up, of course. And broken up. Good screen pass, but a nice play to close it down. Yeah, Blake Horvath, not good stats there. 5 for 11, 2 picks, and just 63 yards. Ouch. And another play here, back to pass, but big pressure. Hit hard. Wow, drilled. I'm surprised he got the ball away. Well, it's 3rd and 10. Navy's got some work to do. You have to assume that this is a play where you're going for it on 4th if they need to, but it's caught. A nice curl route. Well timed, and Navy gets the first down. That's a fake. And on the sideline, nice play. Doing well in the hurry up here is Horvath. Another throw, and this one is caught, 7 yards. So the hurry up is working here. They're driving down the field inside the red zone. Richards is checked in for Turner, by the way. And back at the end zone, overthrown. They had a chance. Now it's 3rd down. showing the kicker range there. I doubt they're kicking. I mean, getting on the board is one thing, but 3 points doesn't do much for you here. They do hand it off to Texeca. I don't know his name. I'll know it by the end of the game, maybe. But they don't get it. It's now 4th and 2, and what do you do here? You don't just hand it right back to him, do you? Nope, they're back to pass. Back of the end zone. Touchdown! Navy breaks the scoring drought. Their first score of the game. That's Noah, the sophomore, and now they're going for 2. You do have to go for 2 at least once, so might as well try now. So they're going to pass it, and they do not convert. It looked like they had a chance there. So now it's onside kick time. Can you get a recovery? And you cannot. Not even close. Recovered by Temple, and that should pretty much end the game here. Temple's going to run the ball a few times. There is a 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts, but you do need a few scores yet. Navy not using their timeout yet, so they will run it down to the 2-minute warning. All right, 2-minute warning has been hit. It's 2nd and 7. Navy's got 3 timeouts. Toss outside. Cut back. Well done, Wilson. Wilson falls forward. EJ Wilson, his 3rd carry. He's had a great game. He had that one big run for like 35 yards, and he's checked in here in the 4th. I'm sort of confused why Navy isn't calling a timeout. Maybe they just don't care. Like maybe it's just late enough that they're over it. But we're gonna run down the clock here. And it's a stretch play. Wilson's got more room. He gets pushed out of bounds, unfortunately. The clock is stopped at 2nd and 2. At this point, you can pretty much end the game. I don't know if they're going to call timeouts or not, but run a little counter here. And Wilson gets the first down, and that is going to be it. Again, it seems like they're not calling timeouts. Hand it off. Smith gets a yard, and that's going to be it for the game. Navy has accepted defeat. Coming out in the victory formation. Ticking down. Once the clock is under 40, they'll kneel. I'm sure Navy will not call a timeout. They haven't yet, so. Oh, we don't get the super sim down because they have timeouts, I guess. They're not using them, though, so we have to sit here and wait. I won't make you guys wait, though. And Temple has done it. They moved to 2-0 with the victory over Navy. Another just amazing performance by the defense, shutting down the triple option early, forcing them to pass, and another pick 6. Player of the game is Joquez Smith, 14 for 61, 2 touchdowns. Well played by Temple. They're 2-0. This is a game that they were expected to win. We assumed they would come out here and win the game. We weren't sure how well they would play, you know, coming off that high of beating Oklahoma, but they played well, stuck to their guns, and won the game in style. Well, not really much style, but they played well. And as you know I will, let's dig into some stats. A good overall victory. Offensively outplayed Navy. I mean, they scored 6 points, so, you know, makes sense. But 248 yards offense compared to 182. Not much offense in general this game, honestly. No very successful rushing attacks either for either team. 11.8 yards per pass, pretty solid for Temple, though. Simon, another lackluster game. I don't think it was like a terrible game. I mean, again, he just didn't need to be doing that much. He wasn't asked to make any big passes, really. Maybe a couple conversions here or there. And 10 for 14 is solid, but no touchdowns and 1 pick. You know, it's just, again, just wasn't really asked to do too much, I guess, but they were held in a lot of long 3rd downs, so maybe that was part of it, but 10 for 14 is solid. I'll give them that. And looking at the running backs, I really don't like how they tack on sacks for like he should not have negative 39 rushing yards. That isn't really how it works, but maybe in college they do it that way. I don't know. I remember it doing that in NCAA 12 or 13 as well, and I just don't really like that. But Joquez Smith He had 4.3 yards per carry. It's pretty solid. Hit 2 touchdowns. He did not fumble this game, but EJ Wilson actually outperformed him on the ground with 9 less carries. I think he's the 3rd running back on our depth chart with Tyree Washington in the 2nd role. But after that game, maybe EJ Wilson gets a bump up. Again, not that many receptions to go around, so maybe this Temple team will just not have a lot of passing offense. We'll see, but so far in the first 2 games, not a ton. Reese Clark, the tight end, has had actually quite a bit of work. I mean, in terms of all the work that's going around, but 3 for 55 today, and he's been a reliable option. Dante Wright did see the ball finally, 2 for 42, and then Zay Baines, 2 for 51. So it seems like Zay Baines is definitely an option, as well as Clark. And I mean, you'd like to see Dante Wright get the ball more, but he just might be a 3rd option. And you can't forget the defense. Trey Thomas, 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Big game for him. Cameron Stewart had 2 tackles for loss and 5 tackles as well. No sacks just because they were running the triple option. It kind of makes sense. And then 2 picks. Jamel Johnson had his, and another touchdown for him. Torrey Richardson, I think they both had one last game as well. I mean, everyone did. So great game overall for them. One thing that to keep in mind is kicking. Trujillo missed a field goal and missed an extra point. So that's something to keep in mind looking forward. I don't think we have another option, honestly, anyway. So probably not much we can do about that, but something to keep in mind for bigger games down the road. So that'll do it for week 2, 23-6, a big victory for Temple, and it's pushing them in the right direction. So overall, in terms of looking at the simulation aspect of this week, I think things were better. You know, we were definitely the better team by 4 or 5 overall points. So because of that, I expected the win, and it wasn't like a massive victory. You know, it was a good game for most of it. There was 2 more interceptions, but I think they were reasonable. I didn't user anyone, so the first one was basically a punt, and then the second one was just a bad pass that was picked off and taken back to the house. I think we'll look forward. Let's look at who we play in week 3 and week 4. We've got Coastal Carolina and Virginia Tech. These are 2 teams that I believe are better ranked. I know Virginia Tech for sure is a higher overall. Coastal Carolina, I think, is compatible, similar to us, but I think they're a little bit better. In fact, we could probably take a look. Okay, so Coastal Carolina is actually 75s across the board, which I think Navy was as well. So this should be an easy game, but Virginia Tech for sure is, I think they're like 84 overall. So, you know, that game will definitely, 84 overall. So that game will definitely be a deciding factor. If that's one that feels too easy, that is probably when we would bump it up to Heisman. But I think for now, we're going to keep it at All-American just because, you know, the first game could have been a little fluky, and the Navy game was just an easy game. So we do have an easy game. Army, I don't think they're very good. UConn is okay. So the beginning of honestly, our schedule is pretty easy overall. Looking at it, the hardest team we play may actually be Virginia Tech. So this could be a good year for Temple. I don't know. A pretty easy schedule though. But that's going to do it, guys, for week 2. If you have any information for me on how to make the game more realistic, or if you have any ideas on things we could do, let me know. I'm trying to do the best I can, but I think we're in a good spot right now, and I'm excited to see Temple in week 3. We've got some good recruiting options to look at, and we will move forward with Coastal Carolina next week. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you can, please leave a like on the video, and if you're not yet subscribed and want to see more Temple football, please do consider subscribing. That's going to do it, guys, here in week 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.